Hello everyone, I'm MW3 from Psychic Gamers, and this is Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3. Now the game I'm playing today is from a private match, and the game mode is Infected. Now if you haven't played this game mode before, which you probably won't have done unless you've got into a private match with a lot of friends, because it is better if you've got more people. I'll just quickly explain it for you. As always, there's two teams, the survivors and the infected. The difference between normal game modes is that when the infected kills the survivor swaps teams to the infected side. Both the survivors and the infected have set loadouts that they have. When you're in a private match, it's up to whoever's the host to decide what weapons they have. Normally, the infected people have a USP tactical knife, but the USP doesn't have any ammo, so they have to run up to the other team and stab them. This causes you to swap over to the other team, and the objective is to either survive it out, or the infected team's objective is to kill all of the survivors and swap them over to the infected team. Now the game ends either when everybody's infected, or if you have a timer on your game when the time runs out. The reason I'm telling you all this, and the reason you should care, is because tomorrow this game mode will go into public rotations under the community playlist that has only had Drop Zone in it for quite a few weeks now. Now this is actually really exciting news, because this is one of my favourite game modes to play. However, I don't get to play it that much because I have to get a lot of people into my lobby before it's actually any fun to play. Now this is all official. It's on the Call of Duty forums. 402 aka Robert Bowling posted this. It says, this weekend on the February 5th we will be adding the mode Infected to community playlists on Xbox 360 and PlayStation, and coming soon to PC, and this new mode will be available to all players, so no elitism here. When the match starts, after 10 seconds, one person will be picked to be the initial infected. It's then their job to infect everybody they can, and you win, as I said earlier, either when the time runs out as a survivor, or when you've infected everybody as the infected team. You'll receive 100 XP per kill. That's on both sides if you're a survivor or an infected, and if you're a survivor, every time somebody on your team gets infected you get 100 XP bonus, a survivor bonus it's called, and yeah, you get 100 extra XP for being someone that's still alive. The most interesting thing here is the list of loadouts, because there's quite a long list and it seems they're going to be random rotations as to what loadout you get. The first variation is called Knife versus Striker, and this is going to appear the most often. This will be playable on 14 out of the 16 maps. The maps are Dome, Hard Hat, Mission, Resistance, Village, Arcaden, Seatown, Fallen, Lockdown, Underground, Bootleg, Outpost, Bakara and Carbon. Alternatively, the two maps that aren't getting the Knife vs Striker game mode are Downturn and Interchange. Now I'm not exactly sure why those two aren't getting it. Additionally, at the moment you won't be able to play this mode on the two DLC maps, Piazza and Liberation, even if you're an Xbox 360 Elite player, and it doesn't say whether or not these maps will be added in the future. The infected get a knife only, which is a USP 45 with no ammo and a tactical knife, and their equipment is the throw knife and a tactical insertion, which is actually really helpful when you're infected, because you can put it down somewhere and you can spawn in like right next to where you died, so you can tell people are trying to camp, and you can get a jump on them with your tactical insertion. And perks of extreme conditioning, which are helpful if you're trying to chase down people, and quick draw, which is really useful when you're putting down the tactical insertion, because it speeds up a lot how fast you can put down. I assume that's quick draw pro, because I think you need quick draw pro to speed up using the tactical insertion. The death streak is juiced, quite fittingly, and yeah, that's it for the infected. The survivors get a striker with extended mag, damage proficiency, and their secondary weapon is the 5.7 akimbo. They get claymores and smoke, and their perks are scavenger, quick draw and steady aim. Now claymores are pretty useful for trying to stop the infected. They're not too overpowered, because even with scavenger in Modern Warfare 3 you can't replenish your claymore, so there's not going to be loads and loads of claymores around. Smoke, I have to say, is a little bit useless for this mode. when I run a lobby, or when a lot of people run a lobby, so I've seen them use portable radars, which are actually really helpful for finding out where the infected people are. Perks, scavenger, quick draw, steady aim, yeah, that makes sense. The initial infected get the same as the survivors, except their equipment is a throwing knife instead of a claymore, and their death streak is hollow points, which should help them out trying to get someone infected first off. I think the initial infected turns into a normal infected as soon as he infects someone, so you shouldn't be able to run around and kill everyone with your striker. The second one here is a knife versus the .44 Magnum, and this version will be played on 9 maps, which are Hard Hat Mission, Resistance, Village, Arcaden, Seatown, Fallen, Lockdown and Carbon. So the maps that won't be getting it are Downturn and Interchange again, but also not Bakara, Dome, Bootleg or Outpost or Underground. So only 9 out of the 16 you'll be able to play on. The infected have exactly the same loadout as before, except they're lacking the throwing knife. Now I'm not exactly sure why they've chosen to do this, because to me that just says you're going to be able to camp as a survivor a lot more easily, but we'll see how that goes. The survivors are getting the 44 Magnum akimbo, and their equipment is the C4 and concussion grenades. Again, concussion grenades a bit more helpful than smoke grenades. C4 I'm not sure about, could be pretty useful. Their perks are scavenger, quick draw and steady aim again, and the initial infected are getting the 44 Magnum akimbos, throwing knife, tactical insertion. Their perks are extreme conditioning, quick draw, steady aim, and their death streak is hollow points. The third variation of this mode will appear randomly, apparently rarely, and will only be able to be played on Dome, and this version is called the Juggernaut versus MK46. Now the infected is a Juggernaut with their primary weapon as a knife only, their equipment as a tactical insertion. Their perks are extreme conditioning, quick draw and dead silence, and their death streak is juiced. The survivors have an MK46 with kick. Their secondary weapon is an RPG, and their equipment is claymores and smoke grenades. The perks are scavenger, quick draw and steady aim again, and the initial infected have an MK46, rapid fire, extended mags. RPG is secondary, equipment, tactical insertion. Perks, extreme conditioning, quick draw, steady aim, and death streak is hollow points. Now neither the initial infected nor the survivors are juggernauts, just the infected. Now this mode could actually be quite good. Personally, when I was playing it, I didn't enjoy the juggernaut variations of it, but this could provide quite a challenge for both the infected and the survivors, because you can get taken out quite easily if a couple of people are firing RPGs at you at the same time. Alternatively, as a infected, you do have a lot of armor on to protect you, and I don't know how much extreme conditioning is going to speed you up in your juggernaut suit to catch people with a tactical knife. But yeah, that could be very interesting. And the fourth and final one is called Striker versus Juggernaut, and this appears rarely, randomly, only played on Dome. The difference between this one and the last one is health regeneration is set to slow, and quite a big difference is the infected actually have proper weapons instead of knife only. Their primary is the Striker with range and extended mags, and their secondary is the XM25 air blast launcher thing. They've got Semtex and tactical insertions, and their perks are sleight of hand, quick draw and steady aim. And their death streak is dead man's hand, which is can be rather painful for the juggernaut. God, I hate that death streak in multiplayer. This time it's the survivors that are juggernauts, and they actually have a weapon this time. It's the 44 Magnum Akimbo, and the one and only perk is Scavenger. That's all you're getting, just 2 Magnums and Scavenger. The initial infected are juggernauts, and they've got pretty much the same as the normal infected. They've got Striker range, extended mag, XM25, Semtex tactical insertion, perks extreme conditioning, steady aim and quick draw, and the death streak is hollow points. So I hope it hasn't been too boring for you just for me go through all these classes, and I hope it popping up on the screen has been helpful to understand what you're getting. But I wanted to rush through it to give my opinion on it. From what it sounds like on paper, this is going to be absolutely excellent. I really enjoy Infected when I play it in private matches. My only worry is how many deaths you get, especially as the Infected, because you're not really supposed to care about your kills and deaths, and I normally get a lot less kills than I do deaths. Like, I think in one of the games I played, I got infected pretty much straight away and I went like 2 and 20 or something. So if you're someone who really cares about your stats, I can't see this game mode being for you. If Infinity Ward were really clever, it wouldn't count this game mode in the kill death leaderboards, but I doubt they've thought that through, so it's probably going to count a load of deaths towards your stats. I like how they haven't just given you one loadout variation and there's different modes on different maps with different variations. Hopefully they'll add even more as time goes on. The only thing that hasn't been addressed is kill streaks. They haven't said anybody gets kill streaks, but I don't think you will. I don't think you can have custom kill streaks in it. They haven't said whether or not you can still use the Moab. If you can, then I'm sure a lot of people will get Moabs off the Infected game mode, especially with the one where there isn't a throwing knife, so you can camp it out a bit. 25 kills on Infected when they're all running towards you isn't too hard to rack up. In the last gameplay clip I camped it out for a bit because I wanted a Moab. I did actually get one, but I didn't call it in because I was an idiot and tried to send a message before I did it, and I got stabbed and lost it. But as you can see, it took like about 10 minutes just of waiting for people to come run towards me. If there'd been less people on my team stealing all my kills, I would have got it earlier. I hope this commentary has at least been informative. If you did like it, think about leaving a rating or a comment, because I am thinking of doing more Modern Warfare 3 commentaries. I mean, I've got a load of good gameplay. I just think of things to talk about, and this cropping up was an excellent thing to commentate about, because I'm actually really interested to see how this game mode goes. I will be collecting together some public game footage and giving you my opinion, because as I said, it could sound great on paper but it could be absolutely terrible when it actually comes out. So I'll be playing it, giving you my opinion. If you did enjoy this video and you'd like to see some more commentaries, then leave a rating or a comment. If you didn't enjoy this video for any reason, feel free to leave me a comment with why, and I'll try and improve it in the future. Anyway, I hope you did enjoy this video, and I shall see you next time, guys.